guys, if you're new to Deception Bites, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. All right, guys, I am back, and I'm glad to be back with you guys after missing the last 2 evenings. And I did leave a message on my video channel to let you guys know that there was a family emergency with my stepfather. So he is responding to medication and he is doing much better, but he will probably be in the hospital for several days. He's got acute pneumonia and some heart issues happening. They believe the heart issues are due to the pneumonia, but anyway, so things are calming down just a bit, but I think we're all exhausted around here anyway. I think even the cats are exhausted, believe it or not. I don't know why, but anyway, so I'm back and I'm glad to be back. And thank you guys, those of you that prayed. Please, if you're a believer, continue to pray for him. He is critically ill, but he is responding well to the medication, and we expect him to make a full recovery at this point. So that's good news. And anyway, let me get to tonight's video. It is Friday, October 4th, and it is 9:01 p.m. Eastern Time. I am hoping to do 2 videos to get caught up a bit with the news because there has been a lot happening. I have been keeping up with the news. I just haven't had an opportunity to record for the last 2 days, but I'm hoping that the last 2 days will be the last that I'll need to miss because, you know, we're not going to be needed to be there all day, every day at the hospital. So anyway, all right, let's get started. Again, thank you guys for your understanding and your patience, and thank you for not giving up on me and, you know, sticking around and waiting for my next video. I appreciate that so much. Anyway, let's get started with the news, because if we don't, that's not what I wanted. If we don't, we are going to be very far behind. Now, hopefully you will have been listening to some other alt media types on YouTube and have gotten up to date with everything. But if not, I am going to go over some of these things just because I do want to make sure that you guys see it and are aware of it. There's so much. But a lot of it is, I think, good news. It seems like it's bad news, but I think really it's good news. So let's get started, and we'll just start with the first one here. Now, again, some of these may be a few days old just because of my situation, but bear with me. I do have several news items from today, so it's fresh. All right. Now, and just 1 second, for some reason, nope, we're recording. I just had this feeling that maybe we weren't recording, but I'm glad that I was wrong. Okay, so let's get into this. It's probably already pulled up. Yes, it was. All right, now, must read. Ukraine Burisma story is massive. Involves billions of IMF and US funds looted and lost by bank connected to Burisma Holdings. And of course, we know that Joe and Hunter Biden are neck deep in Burisma Holdings. Yeah, no matter what Joe Biden says. You know, he's getting very angry because people are asking about this. It's almost like, you know, being part of the deep state. I think that he thinks that nobody should be asking him this because they should know the narrative and not to ask him these questions. And so when people do ask him, he gets very flustered and very angry, which tells me right there. I mean, obviously we know he's guilty, but that tells me right there. When somebody reacts like that and gets all, yeah, there's usually, you know, like methinks the lady doth protest too much. Well, I think that Joe Biden doth protest too much. So obviously he's guilty. All right, so let's take a look at this. The Biden and now Kerry scandal in the Ukraine is much more than about the money paid to Hunter Biden for being a board member at the largest gas producer in the Ukraine, Burisma Holdings. The real scandal involves billions in funds from the IMF and US in aid that has gone missing.
can't say as I'm surprised, and I would be very highly doubtful that you would be surprised either. Burisma, Ukraine's largest oil and gas provider, has been the subject of many recent news articles because of its scandalous, close-knit ties with President Obama's Vice President Biden and Secretary of State Kerry. Yes, Kerry is involved here too. Well, that doesn't surprise me either, because Kerry is neck deep in a lot of things. A controlling shareholder of Burisma is believed to be held by an entity called Private Group. The Private Group, or Private Bank, known, or it could be Privet. I'm not sure if it's pronounced private or privet. I bet it's pronounced privet. The Privet Group, or Privet Bank Group, Ukrainian, is a global business group based in Ukraine. Privet Group controls thousands of companies of virtually every industry in Ukraine, the European Union, Georgia, Ghana, Russia, and the United States, and other countries. Steel, oil and gas, chemical, and energy are sectors of the group's prime influence and expertise. None of the group's capital is publicly traded on any stock exchange. Privet Group is controlled by Ukraine's largest commercial bank, Privet Bank, whose owner was Igor Kolomoisky. Privet Bank was later nationalized by the Ukraine in December 2016, taking 100% control of the Privet Bank entity a month after the 2016 U.S. election. And this, by the ghost of Daniel Parker, says veteran Moscow reporter John Hemler makes a convincing case that the control shareholders of Burisma is Privet Group. And this apparently is an article by John Helmer. And down here it says, Privet Group controlled the nation's largest commercial bank, Privet Bank. Makes sense. Privet was controlled by Igor Kolomoisky. Real live sharks in his office. Well, you know, if you want real live sharks in your office, well, hey. According to reports, Ihor Valerai, okay, I can't pronounce that. I cannot pronounce that, but the last name looks like Kolomoisky, is a Ukrainian Jewish billionaire, business oligarch, and the former governor of, I'm not sure how to pronounce that either. Kolomoisky is rated as the second or third richest person in the Ukraine since 2006 and 377th richest person in the world, according to the Forbes magazine list of billionaires. The transliteration of Ihor Kolomoisky's name into English has numerous variants, including Igor or Ihor for his first name and Kolomoisky, Kolomoisky, or Kolomoisky for his surname. Okay. Kolomoisky is rated as the second or third richest person in the Ukraine. Before the Orange Revolution, Privet Group had been widely regarded as relatively uninvolved in politics, but loyal to the Leonid Kuchma regime. After the government changed, the group's owners, according to media, became close allies of Yulia Tymoshenko. Although she publicly denies this, analysts agree that some of Tymoshenko's decision as the prime minister of Ukraine supported Privet side in conflict. Some sources state that Privet Group provided significant financial support for Viktor Yushchenko during his presidential campaign and subsequent Orange Revolution. As noted in prior posts, Kolomoisky purchased a private military consisting of mainly military and police forces who were also employed by the Ukrainian government. Kolomoisky is credited with stopping the forward progression of Russian separatists via the use of his private military. The International Finance Agency had rushed the money to Ukraine in April in response to what IMF Managing Director Christine Lagarde called a major crisis. She went on to hail the government's unprecedented resolve in developing a bold economic program to secure macroeconomic and financial stability. Excuse me. Have to take a swig of this kombucha. I love it. It is so good. Okay. Where did we leave off here? Over the next 5 months, the international agency poured the equivalent of 4.51 billion or 2.97 billion in special drawing rights, the IMF's own currency, into the National Bank of Ukraine, the country's central bank. Much of this money was urgently needed to prop up the local commercial banks. In theory, the IMF appeared to require direct supervision of how the Ukrainian banks used the aid. In fact, it appears the banks got to select their own auditors. Kolomoisky's bank, Privet Bank, is later revealed to be a recipient of billions of dollars of IMF funds. Kolomoisky is believed to have looted those funds. And this, according to the ghost of Daniel Parker, a mere 9 months later, Privet Bank has blown through 1.8 billion. Wow. You know what? How do you blow through $1.8 billion? Really? I mean, think about it. That is a massive amount of money. Gone. Alexander Cockburn covers in great detail the financial shenanigans that made the money disappear in a maze of offshore accounts in Cyprus, Belize, and the British Virgin Islands. So that is another article. At one point in time, Kolomoisky had been placed on a U.S. government visa ban list due to his questionable business practices. However, shortly after Archer Devon and Hunter Biden joined the group of Burisma, that ban was mysteriously lifted, and there has been no investigation into these missing funds. The mystery deepens. Where are the billions of dollars that went missing in Ukraine? What do Obama, Biden, and Kerry and their children know about where the money is, and are they connected? Oh, I can bet they are. All into offshore accounts, probably looting done for their own. I mean, they know they're in trouble, or it could possibly be funding their deep state activities. For all we know, I don't know. But it's awfully interesting, isn't it? I would love to know where that money went, wouldn't you? That's a lot of money. I'd also like to know where I don't know how many, it was at least 1 trillion. I can't remember how many trillion dollars was missing from the Pentagon. And coincidentally, that plane, or whatever it was, not saying it was a plane, just, in the Pentagon, it just landed right there in that office that was responsible for auditing that. It's odd, isn't it? What bad timing. What bad luck. Yeah, I'm sure it was just a coincidence. But anyway, I'd like to know where all this missing money goes. And, you wonder how they're funding all their activities. Well, that's probably how. So let's go back now that I tripped over that because of all those Ukrainian names, and let's look at this. I'm going to try and pick up the pace here because we've got a lot to go through tonight. I am planning on doing 2 videos if I can hold up to it. I am still pretty tired, but I do want to get the videos out. I feel like I owe that to you guys because you have been so faithful, and I do want to get as much out as I can tonight. All right. Former Deutsche Bank executive's son secretly helped FBI's investigation. Report. So, hang on here. The son of a deceased Deutsche Bank executive has helped the FBI with probes related to the bank. The New York Times reported Tuesday. Val Brokesmith, the son of senior executive Bill I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that. Broexmit, sounds good to me. Bill Broexkit reportedly had a trove of bank documents and spoke to the law enforcement agency following his father's suicide. Deutsche Bank is facing scrutiny over its dealings with President Trump and his family. The House Intelligence and Financial Services Committees have subpoenaed Deutsche Bank records related to Trump. They're bound and determined to find something that Trump has done wrong, and so far nothing sticks to him. He has got to be the cleanest man in political history, really. I mean, with all those people digging up anything they can find, and they can't make anything stick. Either they're completely incompetent, or Trump is completely clean. Now, I don't suspect he is completely clean, but I don't think that he is a part of the swamp, or ever was. So anyway, we remain committed to cooperating with authorized investigations, a Deutsche Bank spokesperson told The Hill in a statement, but declined to comment on Broeck-Schmidt. That's hard to say. The Times reported that Broeck-Schmidt told the FBI that the bank had a culture of fraud and dirt, and told investigators his story. Agents told Broeck-Schmidt he could have a special advisory title and pledged to keep him updated on the investigation, according to the newspaper. They also reportedly allowed him to let the public know of his status as a witness in the investigation, and helped his French girlfriend get a visa. I am more emotionally invested in this than anyone in the world, Broeck-Schmidt told the Times of his work with the FBI. I would love to be their special informer. I'm sure he would. Whoops. I'm telling you. First day with the new fingers, I guess. I don't know. Yes, helped his girlfriend get a visa. I am more emotionally invested in this than anyone else in the world. I would love to be their special informer. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff also subpoenaed Broeck-Schmidt after trying to persuade him to work with the committee, the Times reported. Broeck-Schmidt reportedly asked to be a paid consultant, which the paper described as a non-starter. The Hill has reached out to the Intelligence Committee and the FBI for comment. So, found that a little bit interesting, and certainly glad that they're not working with Adam Schiff, because I don't think he's going to be there very long. I really don't, because I think he is in deep, deep doo-doo. What he did was not only unconscionable, but illegal. So he needs to resign at the very least. I think he needs to be prosecuted personally, but we shall see what happens. And let's go to the next item. I don't remember what this is, so I'll see if it's something important, and if not, we will leave it. Oh, yes. Yeah, did you know this? Explosive video surfaces from 2015, Kamala Harris and Obama admin staffer arrested for impersonating police in Kamala's district as Attorney General of California under Obama's admin. Fake police cars, badges, guns, uniforms, more coming soon. Case was swept under the rug. Well, and that should surprise no one. Now, please tell me why, why Kamala Harris and an Obama admin staffer would be impersonating police, fake police cars, badges and guns, uniforms, the whole 9 yards. Why would they be doing that at the time when she was district attorney, or she was attorney general of California? Why is that? Things that make you go, So let's just see. I haven't seen this, actually.
Law enforcement says they became aware of this illegitimate police organization when members of the group actually contacted the Santa Clarita Sheriff's Station and sat down and talked with one of the captains. Now, anybody who's read the book The Da Vinci Code or seen the movie with Tom Hanks probably knows a thing or two about the Knights Templar. They're a sort of ancient police organization, and these guys claim to be members of a modern-day version of just that. The legendary Knights Templar are an ancient medieval group that dates back nearly 1,000 years. Historians believe the Knights were like police for the Catholic Church. However, claiming to be a law enforcement officer of theirs today, can get you thrown in jail, as 3 people from Santa Clarita found out.
It appears that they were trying to basically just mislead the community by impersonating, officers.
The LA County Sheriff's Department arrested 3 citizens identifying themselves as members of the Masonic Fraternal Police Department.
He had the specific ring, and I just asked about it, and it's about an Illuminati. It's a Masonic, and then it goes back from ancient times.
Inside the suspects' homes, investigators say they found weapons, badges, vehicles, uniforms, and other law enforcement type equipment.
I've seen 25 exactly.
Let's just go back here a second to where that picture was. Hang on, I'm trying to... Right here. That looks like Kamala Harris to me. So why are they pretending that they're police officers that arrested these citizens? I don't get it. Well, these citizens that are claiming to be Masonic members of the Knights of Malta, or the Templars, I think they said the Templars. So this is a very odd story, very odd. And if anybody knows any additional information on it, please let me know. This is one of these things that I intend to look into because it's very interesting, and there's got to be more to this than meets the eye.
Equipment.
I've seen 25 cop cars. I just saw the police opening the garage and checking everything in the garage.
Brandon Keel, along with Tanette Hayes and David Henry, the leader, were all charged for impersonating a peace officer. According to the LA Times, Keel was an aide to California's State Attorney General Kamala Harris. A neighbor to 2 of the suspects tells us he's seen them wearing their Masonic police uniforms before.
It didn't have any of the specific badges for the.
Okay, now I've got it. It was Kamala Harris, an Obama admin staffer, that was arrested for impersonating police in Kamala's district, and it was swept under the rug. Okay, I was confused on this because I've been really rushed this last couple of days with everything going on, and my mother has been staying here because she doesn't like to be up in the country by herself, and I don't want her up there either. So this is one of those things that I saw and grabbed, but I really misunderstood what it was saying. So it wasn't Kamala Harris, it was one of her staff members. But they were impersonating police in Kamala's district, and she swept it under the rug. So that's what the, oops. You know what that is? It is my cell phone, and I have to answer it because it could be. No, I don't have to answer it. All right. If it was my mother, I would answer it because of the situation. But yes, my cell phone is dogs barking. I couldn't find cats meowing. So anyway, I'm going to stay on this because it's very interesting, and I really would like to know what this is all about. It's very odd. So anyway, let's go on because we can. And I'm sorry about that confusion. Now, this is about Las Vegas. They are monitoring that very heavily. And I'm going to leave it because, that is in the past right now, but it's extremely interesting. And I am going to bring this up in a video very soon, possibly even tomorrow. All right, let's look at this now. All right, and here is, our favorite pencil neck. No, not even close. All right, the anti-Trump whistleblower and his CIA colleagues actively colluded with House Democrats before filing a complaint with the Inspector General. Now, we know that now, but interesting that this is all coming out. An anti-Trump whistleblower at the center of ongoing Democratic efforts to impeach President Donald Trump coordinated with Representative Adam Schiff and his Democratic staff prior to filing his whistleblower complaint. The New York Times reported on Wednesday afternoon the bombshell report. Well, that's weird. The bombshell report that the whistleblower and his Central Intelligence Agency colleagues actively worked exclusively with congressional Democrats before filing the complaint raises serious questions about whether the complainant followed federal laws providing whistleblower protections for employees within the U.S. intelligence community. Of course they didn't. We all know that. Since when do they ever follow the laws and the rules and the protocols? Never. It's one set of rules and laws for them and quite another for the Republicans. We know that. So we don't even have to question. Before going to Congress, the CIA officer had a colleague convey his accusations to the agency's top lawyer. The New York Times reported, concerned about how that avenue for airing his allegations was unfolding. The officer then approached a House Intelligence Committee aide, alerting him to the accusation against Mr. Trump. The New York Times noted that the anti-Trump complainant only notified the committee's Democrats of his allegations. Gee, I wonder why. Why would they just go to the Democrats? And why would they go to the New York Times before it's even been filed? Curious indeed. The New York Times noted that the anti-Trump complainant only notified the Democrats. The whistleblower's decision to offer what amounted to an early warning to the Intelligence Committee's Democrats is also sure to thrust Mr. Schiff even more forcefully into the center of the controversy, the New York Times wrote. Under federal law, whistleblowers within the intelligence community are required to report any allegations of wrongdoing to the Intelligence Committee Inspector General, ICIG, in order to receive statutory whistleblower protections for their disclosures. So why didn't they do that? Because the whistleblower, so-called whistleblower, who is not a whistleblower, but they knew the regulations and how things are supposed to be done. Why didn't they follow it? Just curious. So why didn't they go to the Inspector General and receive their statutory whistleblower status? Why didn't they? Anyway, the law does not provide any protections to employees or contractors who bypass the process required by law and go directly to Congress, nor does it provide any avenue to disclose classified information to Congress without first going through the ICIG. If the complainant or a colleague leaked classified information to Schiff or his committee, those individuals could be subject to criminal liability for legal and unauthorized disclosure of classified information. The employee may contact the Intelligence Committees directly after filing a complaint with the Inspector General. That wasn't done. If the employee, before making such a contact, furnishes to the director through the Inspector General a statement of the employee's complaint or information and notice of the employee's intent to contact the Intelligence Committees directly, and obtains and follows from the director through the Inspector General direction on how to contact the Intelligence Committees in accordance with appropriate security practices, the federal whistleblower law known as the Intelligence Community Whistleblower Protection Act, or ICWPA, states, that's what it states. So this was not done according to the way that things are supposed to proceed. Not at all. There's nothing ordinary about this whistleblower, and there's nothing ordinary about the direction and the steps that this complainant took. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to turn this down. I really apologize, but it's just I hate to have my phone off completely because of the situation. So I hope that you understand that. All right. Okay, the full anti-Trump complaint, which was declassified by the president and released on September 25th, included no firsthand evidence of wrongdoing by the president. Instead, it offered a litany of secondhand allegations, gossip, and hearsay, much of which was known to be false when compared to the actual transcript of the July 25th phone call between Trump and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. So, and we know, we've seen the transcript. I read the transcript. Nothing like, it was absolutely nothing like any of them let on, like Pelosi or Schiff. And now Pelosi is defending Schiff and saying, well, it was the essence of what Trump said. And who was it? Stephanopoulos said, no, it wasn't. And she said, yeah, it was. No, I don't know. And I saw another video of her today where she is drunk as a skunk. And I'm hoping to have that video for you too, because it just was obvious to me. I was like, okay, you know what? I used to manage restaurants a long time ago, and I know what drunk people sound like. And that was her. She had way too much vodka, way too much. And it wasn't just her mumbling. It was slurred speech from drinking. I mean, you could tell. Anyway, so these people are just too much. As the Federalist first reported last week, the ICIG changed its internal rules and guidance regarding whistleblower complaints to eliminate a requirement that the complaints contain firsthand information. The ICIG confirmed that reporting on Monday, when it admitted it had altered its forms and procedures after the anti-Trump complaint was filed with the ICIG. So after there was no firsthand information. There was just gossip and allegations and whatever. And so they realized, hey, you know what? This isn't going to fly because according, to the Whistleblower Act, it has to be firsthand information. Okay, well, we'll just change the forms. So that's what they did. Unbelievable. Could you imagine if Trump had done something like that? I'm just saying. Could you imagine? They would have come at him with pitchforks and staves and what do they call that when they have burned rags on poles? They would have came after him. So anyway, top lawmakers in both the Senate and House sent letters to the ICIG earlier this week demanding to know precisely when the firsthand information required was discarded. Under the whistleblower law, the ICIG has near total authority to determine how whistleblower evidence is weighed and ultimately whether complaints are considered credible. The ICIG admitted in a September 13th letter to Congress that he never reviewed the transcript of the July 25th call before determining that the anti-Trump complaint appeared credible. What? So he had access to the transcript. So why did he take that complaint without reviewing the transcript? Why? As part of its preliminary review, the ICIG did not request access to records of the president's July 25th, 2019 call with the Ukrainian president. ICIG Michael Atkinson wrote, both the Director of National Intelligence and the Director of Justice Office of Legal Counsel determined that the complaint was statutory deficient and did not qualify under the law as an urgent concern that needed to be provided to the relevant congressional oversight committees. It wasn't urgent. It wasn't a big deal. Who made it a big deal? Well, we know. We know. Anything that'll stick, throw it all. They're like toddlers throwing their feces and seeing what sticks. Anyway, the communications between the whistleblower and House Democrats prior to the complaint's filing also raises questions about whether Schiff and his committee staff coordinated with the ICIG regarding the watchdog's whistleblower forms and guidance stating that firsthand information is required in order for the agency to properly investigate urgent concern complaints. Well, of course, this whole thing was cooked up, probably by Schiff. Although I'm not even sure if he's that smart. But He's certainly complicit in it all, that's for sure. The new revelations that Schiff and his staff coordinated with the anti-Trump complainant and his colleagues prior to a formal whistleblower complaint also suggests Schiff was less than truthful about his interactions with the whistleblower. On August 28th, nearly 2 weeks before the ICIG formally informed Congress of a pending urgent concern, whistleblower complainant from an intel operative, Schiff tweeted allegations from the complaint without disclosing their source. Schiff was in on it, and he lied about it, a congressional GOP staffer told The Federalist. The impeachment initiative has as much genuineness as a $3 bill. Probably less. It is unbelievable what's happening. It's I don't know if my respect for the Democrats could be any less than it is, because actually doesn't even rise to the level of respect. It doesn't even rise to the level of tolerance. It's absolutely that this is going on in the United States of America is mind-blowing. Land of the free and home of the brave, and we've got this going on by our elected officials who, by the way, work for us. Yeah, that's pretty sad. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, yeah, let's listen to Trump here. Gotta love him. And I do. I think he is absolutely brilliant. And I think he's had enough. He's had enough. And this, to me, is proof of that. So let's listen.
Want President Zelensky to do about Vice President Biden and his son Hunter?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, it was just a follow-up of what I just asked you, sir.
Listen, you ready? We have the President of Finland. Ask him a question.
I have one for him. I just wanted to follow up on the one that I asked you. Which
Did you hear
what
me?
Did you want?
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Ask him a question.
I will. But
I'm giving you a long answer. Ask this gentleman a question. Don't be rude.
No, sir, I don't want to be rude. I just wanted you to have a chance to answer the question that I asked
I've
you.
answered everything. It's a whole hoax. And you know who's playing into the hoax? People like you and the fake news media that we have in this country. And I say in many cases, the corrupt media, because you're corrupt. Much of the media in this country is not just fake, it's corrupt. And you have some very fine people, too. Great journalists, great reporters. But to a large extent, it's corrupt and it's fake. Ask the President of Finland a question, please.
Okay, I'll move on now. What did you want President Zelensky to do?
He's like, okay, I'll move on now. Like as if he's still in control. Right. I think that, you just got your behind handed to you by Trump. And that's what I admire this president, because he says what he means and he's to the point. He does not play games with these people at all. And he lets them know who's in control. And I like that. So, yeah, that was, I liked that. But it also let me know that he's had enough. He's just had enough. He has been harassed since before he was even president. Just harassed constantly, every day, having hate thrown at him. And what has he done? What has he done wrong? The country is in great economic shape. There's the lowest unemployment we've ever had, lowest unemployment among the Black communities, highest amount of Black business owners. The country is doing well. So what is it that he's done that's so terrible that he's done? And you know what? When you ask these people that hate him, that spew all this hatred, they don't know. They don't know. They can't answer that. They just can't, just orange man bad. Orange man bad. He's racist. He's homophobe. These people have no minds of their own at all. They're taking what they hear and they're parroting it out. And a parrot is just that. Parrots they don't know what they're saying. They're just taking what they hear and they're spewing it out. That's it. Regurgitation. That's all they do is regurgitate what they hear on the fake news media. All right, let's go back now. We want to get to as much as we can. I'm going to skip that one for now and that one. Now, this is interesting. It says confirmed, this by Sean Davis, confirmed the anti-Trump whistleblower and his team coordinated with Representative Adam Schiff before he filed his complaint with the Intelligence Community Inspector General. So it's confirmed. That is exactly what happened. He didn't go to the Intelligence Community Inspector General directly like he should have. Or he or she, don't know. But yeah, coordinated with Adam Schiff and team. Why is that, I wonder? What would be his motivation? Well, we know his motivation. Get Trump out of there. That's all they care about. Because they know that their power is gone. Their influence is gone. Their way to fleece the American people is gone if Trump remains. They know that. The swamp is fighting back. They don't want to be drained. They're like, they're swirling around right now, like while the drain is sucking them under, and they're like all clinging to whatever they can, so they don't get sucked under. And they'll do whatever they need to do because they're desperate. They're absolutely desperate. So Schiff House Intel chairman got early warning of whistleblowers' accusations days before filing a whistleblower complaint. A CIA officer brought a vague version of his accusations to an aide on the House Intelligence Committee. So it is a his. It is a his. Well, biologically, I don't know, but they're saying it's a his. So, all right. Now, this from the Bradford file. To be clear, the chairman of the Intelligence Committee is colluding with the CIA to remove President Trump from office. This is no longer debatable. Adam Schiff is a traitor. Oh, yes, he is. He is a traitor on steroids. Big time traitor. Now, this from Fred Flights, and we're going to look at this for a little bit. It says, the New York Times confirmed what I said last week. Schiff knew about the CIA whistleblower in advance, way in advance, before he even filed his complaint. This is a much bigger scandal than people realize. At a minimum, Schiff should recuse himself from this impeachment inquiry. Absolutely. Well, first of all, he's completely biased. These people aren't. This impeachment thing, it's not a real inquiry. It isn't. They know he hasn't done anything wrong. But they're going to play it as long as they can. Now, this is the rest of that thread. So we're going to go here and get to the rest of it because it's very good information, I believe. So we just read that one, and says below is the Twitter thread and 2 relevant tweets. So let's look at this. The way this complaint was written suggested the author had a lot of help. I know from my work on the House Intel Committee staff that many whistleblowers go directly to the Intel oversight committees. Did this whistleblower first meet with the House Intel Committee members? It is therefore important that Congress find out where this complaint came from. What did House and Senate Intel Committee Democrat members and staff know about it, and when? Did they help orchestrate this complaint? Yes. We now know that's exactly what happened. Exactly. So the whistleblower did come to the House Intel Committee first. Just as I said, we now know that the request by the whistleblower to meet with committee members was a fraud because he'd already done it. Yeah. Supposedly, the House Intel Committee Democrat counsel, told the CIA whistleblower to hire counsel and go through the ICIG process. That would be believable if Schiff and his staff revealed this weeks ago. Susan Hennessy and Mike, I'm not sure what that name, don't be fooled by this. Schiff talked about the Ukraine issue through the month of August. The contents of the complaint leaked before it was presented to Congress. There is zero chance, in my mind, that Schiff's HPSCI lawyers were not working hand in glove with the whistleblower and his lawyers. No doubt in my mind either. And here's the kicker. Under House Intel Committee rules, any classified info brought to the committee from outside sources must be shared with both sides. Both sides. Schiff broke committee rules by not telling committee GOP members about this. Well, when has Schiff not broken the rules? And by the way, Schiff, what about the Standard Hotel? What about that? You know they're going to find you out. They are. Number 7, this is a very serious violation of House Intel Committee rules. Why did Schiff do this, especially when he was using this information to score political points throughout the month of August? The reason is clear. It was part of the latest Dem ploy to take down Donald Trump. Well, of course it is. Everybody can see through that. Everybody that is awake and has not been fed the mind-numbing, trivial crap that the mainstream media is spewing. All right, so it never made any sense to discuss impeachment or a non-intelligence matter like the Ukraine allegations in House Intel Committee, given Schiff's politicization of the issue and serious violations of HPSCI rules. The impeachment charade must end. But do you think it will? No, these people have no shame. And they don't care if they're following rules or not. They don't care because they seem to get away with everything. They seem to. Now, I'm just seeing if there's anything else of interest on this thread. And this person, Cheryl Benson, said, I don't know how you called that one, but you were right. And he's talking to Fred Fleitz. And the Federal Intelligence Community Whistleblower Law explicitly states, intelligence community whistleblowers must formally go through the ICIG before contacting Congress. In fact, those very procedures are cited in the document you screenshot. So, yeah, they didn't follow the rules on any of this. All right, so let's go back. And I am going to stop shortly because I have some people that I want to thank that from the last few days. I want to thank them, and I do want to do another video. So I may touch on a few minor things, but I don't want to get into anything too involved right now. All right, because I want to be able to come back and let's just, there's so much stuff here. I love this, and I love this person's humor because this isn't really A.G. William Barr. It is a fake account or whatever, and it says, well, you know how the saying goes, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, Adam Schiff committed treason. I don't know. That's my humor. Really, it is. I don't know what that says about me other than I have a little, my humor's a little bit off, but that's all right. I'm okay with it. All right, and boy, there is so much stuff here. Yeah, there is so much stuff here, and I feel like we've barely touched anything. Okay, well, there's this. This isn't too involved because I'm not going to read much of it. I'm just breaking. Deep State CIA snitch who filed whistleblower complaint over Trump-Zelensky call is a registered Democrat. No. My gosh, that's shocking. I can hardly believe that. Can you? What else did you think he was? Really? Gateway pundit, what did you think this guy was, if not a registered Democrat? You don't think he was Republican, do you? Really? I'm just saying. That kind of goes without saying. It's kind of like saying, water's wet. Yeah, it is. So CNN's Jake Tapper reported on Thursday that the deep state CIA snitch who filed a whistleblower complaint over Trump's July 25th phone call to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is indeed a registered Democrat. Imagine our shock. Oh, I don't know if I'll ever get over it. First, from CNN, a source familiar with the whistleblower investigation tells me that the political bias referred to by the Intelligence Community Inspector General is that the whistleblower is a registered Democrat. That is the bias. The IG acknowledged the bias in a statement that said that didn't change the facts of the whistleblower complaint. Yeah, it kind of does. Maybe it doesn't change the facts, but the fact that he really didn't know what was said in the call because it was his complaint. It was nothing like the call. So he obviously didn't know. So what facts did the whistleblower have? In fact, none. None at all. The attorney for the whistleblower declined to give us comment. Well, naturally he would. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to read the rest of that because I think it's, kind of stating the obvious. Just saying. All right. Let's see if I can knock any of these others out here before. Yes. Let's look at this, shall we? Breaking. Another leaker. Anti-Trump deep state operative leaks Trump China call info to fake news, CNN. Well, that's shocking. Trump speaks as impeachment inquiry ramps up. The Democrat media complex is currently trying to convince Americans that President Donald Trump should be impeached for discussing the Biden crime family with the president of Ukraine in a July phone call. And since when has it ever been the business of the American people what the president discusses in a top secret phone call? The CIA should not be listening in. Nobody should be listening in. Since when have we ever had the transcript of a presidential call? Ever. Ever. Is it our business? No. I mean, is it our business what, if Pelosi's on the phone to somebody? Well, it might if we think she's committing a crime, but they had no reason to think Donald Trump was committing a crime or doing anything wrong. So why were they listening? Really? Anyway, but not Trump. President Trump told reporters on Thursday morning that Ukraine and China should be both investigate the corrupt Biden family. I agree. President Trump, I would recommend that they start an investigation into the Bidens. This ought to shake up the media for the next 24 hours. Trump tells White House press that not only should Ukraine be investigating Joe Biden and his son, but that China should now open an investigation into Biden. I would recommend that they start an investigation into the Bidens. Well, I think that's a good idea, don't you?
What exactly did you hope Zelensky would do about the Biden after your phone call? Exactly.
Well, I would think that if they were honest about it, they'd start a major investigation into the Bidens. It's a very simple answer. They should investigate the Bidens because how does a company that's...
Now, notice what CNN is putting up here, okay? No public evidence, says facts first. So while the president's talking, they flash this across the screen. Facts first. Joe Biden and the Ukraine. No public evidence Biden sought to get former Ukraine prosecutor removed from any particular case. Yes, there is, including they have the testimony of that particular prosecutor that was removed from the case, saying he was removed. They also have the president saying that he was removed. Investigation was into business dealings with owner of Ukrainian national gas company, Burisma. Yeah, of which Hunter Biden was on the board. You know, CNN infuriates me. It's dumb. It's news for the dumb people. Really. News for the dumb. The deaf, dumb, and blind. It irritates me beyond belief because while the President of the United States is speaking, they have the gall to put facts first up on the screen, disputing what Trump is saying. You know, I try not to hate anybody. I don't want to. And because it puts that bitterness in me, and it only ends up hurting me. But it's hard for me recently. It's been hard for me to not spill over into that. I just have to pray that these people's eyes are opened, really, and that they wake up to what they're doing. I think they know perfectly well what they're doing, but it's amazing to me that people can willingly choose to be evil. It astounds me. CNN reported on Thursday night on the leaked content of President Trump's call with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. CNN reported when President Donald Trump suggested, without prompting, that China should investigate Joe Biden and his son, he thrust another political grudge into what was already the world's most complicated and consequential relationship. The move startled Chinese officials who say they have little interest in becoming embroiled in a U.S. political controversy, and it amounted to the latest extraordinary effort by Trump to openly request political assistance from foreign governments. Thursday's comments weren't the first time Trump has injected Biden into his relationship with China, though he said Thursday he had never pushed Xi to investigate the former vice president, nor is it the first time he has sought to trade favors with Xi, who this week celebrated the 70th birthday of his ruling Communist Party with a note of congratulations from Trump. During a phone call with Xi on June 18th, Trump raised Biden's political prospect, as well as those of Senator Elizabeth Warren, who by then had started rising in the polls, according to two people familiar with the discussion. Notice how they're twisting this? They're twisting it. Oh yeah, they actually believe that Trump is intimidated or frightened of Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden. Are you kidding me? Look at the crowds. Like, Trump has rock star status. He can pack out any auditorium in America, no matter the size. He can pack it out to the rafters and have thousands of people outside waiting to get in. Biden, maybe 100 people. Warren, maybe 100 people. That's it. And you think Trump is intimidated by them? Are you kidding me? It boggles the mind. It truly boggles the mind. So it says the White House record of that call was later stored in the highly secured electronic system used to house a now infamous phone call with Ukraine's president, and which helped spark a whistleblower complaint that led Democrats to open an impeachment inquiry into Trump. Now, I want to know why that person was even looking into those phone calls. Why? That was not their job. Not their job. So, what is this person doing? Looking into private phone calls that the president has? Really? Unbelievable. And yet CNN, they're going to spin it, aren't they? Of course they are. Yeah, because that's what they do. That's what they do. And you know what? They've gotten away with it so far. So I am going to end there, and I'm going to thank some people that definitely need to be thanked, and I'm going to come back because I would like to get through the majority of this because I don't want to get too far behind. There is so much news happening, so much. All right, so I would like to thank, these are the people that I'm going to thank. And they're up here, right here. Now, these are from these people donated through coffee. And Lynn, she said she would wait patiently for more news, chat, cat antics, and clouds. And she was responding, of course, to the fact that I've been away for a couple days. And I think that is very kind. And thank you for the donation, Lynn. And Anon sent his or her love from Southern California. Thank you. And Knows Little Too is actually Cheryl from Tennessee, and thank you so much for your donation. And another Anon, thank you for your generous donation. I appreciate that very, very much. And Brenda J.D., she said, "Hi, Michelle. I watch you and those precious cats of yours regularly, but I seldom comment. I just want you to know that I appreciate all of the time and effort that you expend, and I love you as my sister in Christ." I love you too as my sister in Christ, and I appreciate the people that are drawn to this these videos, this broadcast. I really I don't know, it humbles me when I see the quality of people that comment on the channel all the time, and that, you know, donate and just encouraging words and prayers, and I really appreciate it. I wish I could express to you how much I really appreciate it. And another Anon donated through coffee, and Drumsticks24 said, "You quoted Kids in the Hall tonight. I just quoted Chicken Lady today at work. Crickets." Yeah, people don't get Kids in the Hall. And it's really very Canadian, the humor. And I had pulled up, because my favorite skit on Kids in the Hall was always "These are the Daves I know." And so I had pulled that up on YouTube. And if you want to go and see it, it's Kids in the Hall, the Daves I Know. It is the funniest skit, I think, that they've done. Now, some of their skits, like I used to listen to that way before I was even in college. So some of their skits are a little bit risque, as is a lot of British type / Canadian humor. But some of it is just so nuts, and it's hysterical. And when I was at university, it's so funny because Kids in the Hall was on when I was at university, and that was when you rent a video, and they had a video place in the university. I went to Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. Well, one of the universities I went to. I've been to several now, but they had a place called Vids in the Hall, and we all thought that was so clever. But anyway, so I feel your pain there. Yeah, I don't think many people would know who the Chicken Lady was. I don't know if Americans ever watched Kids in the Hall or not. Don't know. But I know that these guys went on to star in a lot of American sitcoms and so forth. So very, very talented, very funny. All right. There's a lot of Canadian comedians, a lot. Okay, Canada makes great comedians, I'm just saying. Okay, now, so that was from Drumsticks24, and now this is from here down is Mail, and A. Milligan from Ohio. She sent a wonderful card with, and I think I may have showed you this already, the card that she sent with I gotta go over here so I can make sure that you see it. Is that upside down? Yes, it is. This is the card that she sent. It's a picture of one of her paintings, and then she sent me the mug. And the picture is called, let me see if I can get that closer. The picture is called The Storm, and on the back it says The Storm Q. Now, I don't know if she wants me, if there's a way she could let me know. And I don't know, I would assume that she's selling these on somewhere. I don't know if it's eBay or Etsy or whatever, but if she lets me know where you guys can find them, I will pass that along because why not? All right, and let's go back. And Sharon P. from Michigan. Now, she sent me a nice note and asked about the notebook. And several people have asked me about that. I have stated this before, but probably not everybody is listening to every broadcast. But the notebook is in the hands of the right people. If that makes any sense. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but reporting on that information made me very nervous because of my background. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. I couldn't deal with it. So it is passed on to the proper authorities who are investigating it. And that's that. All right, so there you go, Sharon P. I hope you're listening. And Pam J. from California, I hear from her quite often. And she sent a lovely note and a cat picture. Let me see if I can find it here. A lovely note and a lovely card. And let me go over here so I can make sure that you see it. This is the card, and I won't put her writing, but this is her friend's cat. And I will never turn down cat pictures. I love seeing people's pets. And I don't know if she put the name of the pet or not. She just said it's my friend's cuddly cat. So I don't know the cat's name, but beautiful cat. And who else do we have here? I don't want to forget anybody. Those are the Daves I know. Okay, and here we go. Liz N. from California sent a beautiful card note, and she sent a beautiful, beautiful card. And thank you so much. I am going to try to contact you because you did leave your email and you asked especially, and because of the nature of your question, I will contact you, but please be patient because right now I'm a little swamped with everything that's going on in my own family and keeping up with this. So just be patient with me, and I will try to get to you as soon as I can. But she sent that lovely note, and this is neat. It says, "What greater gift than the love of a cat?" And that is by Charles Dickens. And I don't know if you know this, but most writers do have a cat. That is the truth. A lot of writers have cats. Not dogs, cats. There's something about the personality of writers and cats that just go together. So that is the truth. Now, she also sent these little cat soaps. So, and this one, it says bad kitty, but she crossed it out and she put good kitty. And then these are little luxurious soaps in the shape of cats. And it's a black cat like Sammy. Isn't that sweet? Look, a little black cat soap. The thing is, I just don't want to use it because, once you use it, it'll lose all it and then it'll just look like a lump. So, anyway, there's that. And there's this one. There's a white one, kind of, like the other cat, Xander, the bad one. I thought Sammy was going to be the bad one, but he has really straightened up. Xander, not so much. So this is the other little cat soap. Can you see it? I don't know if it's going to focus there. No, I guess it's not. All right. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you to everybody that donates, that prays, that encourages, that leaves comments. You all, you're wonderful. Really, I could not ask for better people. I could never ask for better people because I really believe that the people that come and watch are the ones that are supposed to. And yeah, we're kind of like all a big family. And I like that. I really like that. So, all right, I'm going to leave for now. Well, I'm not really going to leave. I'm still going to be sitting here, but I'm going to take a little bit of break and I'm going to come back and record another one while I can, while it's quiet here and I have the time to do it. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. Stay safe, stay blessed, and keep seeking truth. I'll be back. Good night.